Some of you have been reaching out to me saying that you're thinking about starting a Teachers Pay Teachers store, but you're not quite sure how to go about it. Like, how do you create the actual product and the product previews and post it on TPT? Well, today's video might be a long one because I'm going to show you how to create and upload your first paid product from start to finish. Hi guys, my name is Blanca from TeacherTechFiles.com and I'm a learning strategist from Las Vegas. And on this channel, we talk about how to simplify technology for teachers and how to be successful in Teachers Pay Teachers. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. There are a couple things to consider before you start uploading your products to TPT. And the very first thing is that your first item has to be a free one, something that you give away. I didn't know that when I first started, and I ended up working really hard on a product, went through to post it, and then was super disappointed when I couldn't put a price on it. I didn't want to give away this product, so I was a little bit upset that I couldn't quite open up my store yet. Now, like I mentioned before, my store was technically already open for about 2 years, but I hadn't posted any products on there. Since then, I've uploaded about 114 products, and that's really helped me figure out the way to streamline the process from creating to uploading products. So today I thought I'd bring you with me as I work on a TPT product and show you some tips and tricks on how to secure the images, share the files, and upload them to the website. Let's jump over to the computer and go ahead and get started. I use Google Slides for about 95% of this process, but I do use PowerPoint for previews and thumbnails, and I'll show you that when we get to that. For now, here's a product that I've been working on. These are presentation slides that directly follow the free Engage New York program that many schools use. But the first thing you're going to notice is that there is a sprint that goes along with this. And so to digitize this, I created a Google Forms quiz. Now, I'm not going to go over how to create a Google Form quiz, but I can do that in a future video if you're interested. Just let me know in the comments below. If you want to link other resources to your slides, like the sprint to your Google Slides presentation, then all you'd have to do is get the sharing link. To get the sharing link, I go to my Google Drive and I right-click on that sprint and click Share. And then from there, I click on anyone with this link. So make sure that anyone with this link is selected, can be an editor, and then I copy that link. What you do now is you paste it into a new browser and you're going to erase everything all the way up to the word edit. And instead, you're going to type in the word copy. This is a link that you will give to your buyer so that they can make a copy of your sprint instead of working on the one that you have, your master. If I were to go to that link right now, it would force my buyer to make a copy of my presentation instead of using my actual presentation. What you're going to do now is you're going to take that forced copy link that you just created and attach it to the image in your Google Slides that you want to be directed to that. So for example, in mine, I want this picture of the sprint to be linked to that Google form. So I'm going to select the image and click on Insert Link. You can also do Control K, and I'm going to paste that link in there and click Apply. I would do the same thing for the second sprint. Another thing that you should do before posting your products to TPT is secure your images. If you've purchased clip art from anybody, a lot of the times they're going to require that those images are secured. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So as you can see, I have an image here that I had drawn up specifically for my brand, and I want to make sure that I secure it so that it's not movable and anybody else can take it. And you would want to do this for clip art that you purchase from anybody as well. So most TPT sellers are going to require you that you secure those clip arts. To secure your image, you want to make sure that that image is part of a background. And so what we're going to do is we're going to download it as an image and then set that as a background. So let me show you how to go ahead and do that. Since all of these slides use the same general template, what I did is I made a copy of this slide and I erased all the text out of it so that only the bare bone template is left there. And of course, you want to leave your image that you want part of that background. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to File, Download, and you can either use JPEG or PNG. I'm going to go ahead and choose PNG for this one. And now what you want to do is set all of these to be the background. So I'm going to go to Background, choose Image, and I'm going to drag and drop that one that I just created. So what happens is that if I delete this image now, it won't be movable anymore because it's part of the background. You see, I can't move it even if I tried. It does lose a little bit of quality, but I don't think it's enough to outweigh the benefits of securing those clip arts. But if you guys have a better way of doing it where the images stay nice and crisp and clear, make sure you let me know. I would love to learn. So now that I have the links in there, the product is ready to be sold, but it's not ready to be uploaded yet. I still need to create a preview file and some thumbnails. So let's try that now. To share my product with the buyers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a PDF that has a link to where the buyer can access the file. Now I know that TPT has a way for you to link directly from your Google Drive, and I did try that once, but it creates a new folder on your drive, and it was just a little bit confusing for me because I didn't know what I could and couldn't do with that file without affecting the buyer. So instead, I just decided to stick with the access file with the link. I already have a template that I use for my access files, so all I have to do is change the images and change the links. Let's do that now. This is the template that I use for all of these lessons, and all I have to do here is change this product image and change the link. To get the correct link, we're going to do the same thing that we did before with the sprint, but we're going to do that with the product link this time. And so I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, and I'm going to find that lesson that I want to sell. I'm going to right-click, click on share, make sure that it's set to anyone on the internet with this link can edit, and I will copy that link, go back to my new tab, paste it in there, and do the exact same thing that we did before. We're going to delete everything up to the word edit and then just change it to copy. I'm going to select that link and copy it to make sure I don't lose it and make sure that it works. To make sure that it works, all I did was press enter and it took me to the right place, which is force copy of that lesson. Now I go back to my PowerPoint where I'm going to select this text and I'm going to insert hyperlink and paste the link right there. Press OK. When my buyer purchases this product, they're going to get the PDF, and all they're going to have to do is click on this link to access that product. Now that this access file is ready, all I have to do is download it as a PDF, and the PDF is what I'm going to save into Teachers Pay Teachers. That's how my buyers will access it. So I'm going to go to the top and click on Save As, change this to PDF. I'm going to change the name of it a little bit and save it. This is what the PDF will look like that the buyer will see once they purchase the product. And if they go down and they click on that link, it should take them to that force copy page where they can make a copy of that lesson. My access file also has a slide where I thank the buyer for purchasing my products. And I also have a section where I tell them the terms of use for that products and other things that they might be interested in from my store. So I'll show you that now. Here's my thank you page. I do have a link where they can join my mailing list. I have a page where I list other products that they might be interested in. Now, these are strategically chosen because I obviously want them to purchase things that are similar to what they just bought. And then here is my terms of use. I also already have a template for the preview file, and it'll work very similarly to the access file. So I'll show you that now. This is the template for my preview file. And if you notice, it only has 4 slides, and I do that on purpose, and I'll show you why. All of the previews for this product line are exactly the same. It has a cover, which is the same exact one as the one in my access file. It has some images from the lesson itself. I have a slide that highlights one of the most important parts and one of the biggest selling points of this lesson, which is a self-grading fluency sprint. And then I have other products that they might be interested in. Now, the reason why I have 4 slides is because I end up turning this one file into 2 parts of the upload process. One is the preview file and one is the thumbnails. So what I'll do is I'll save it as a PDF, and that will be my preview file. And then I'll save it as JPEGs, and those will be my thumbnails. I'll show you how to do that now. For the preview file, all you're going to do is save it as a PDF. So you're going to go to Save As, change this to PDF, and then change the name of it. To save it as the thumbnails, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go to Save As, except this time you're going to click on JPEG. And I changed the name of this to Thumbnails. Click on Save. It's going to ask you if you want to save every slide or just this one slide. Go ahead and choose every slide because that'll give you 4 thumbnails. So now you'll see there are 4 perfectly ready thumbnails for you to upload onto Teachers Pay Teachers. And you'll also have that preview file ready to upload as well. Now you have all the parts that you need to upload to your TPT product. So you'll need the product preview, the thumbnails, and the access file if you choose to do it the way I did. You can also add a video preview, which I recommend that you do, but I'm not going to go into it with this video because it does require a few more steps. So if you have a preview video, I highly recommend that you add it as well. Since we're ready to go ahead and upload, let's go ahead and go to Teachers Pay Teachers and I'll show you how to do that. This is my product listings page. And if you notice, I've already been working on these Engage New York lessons for quite a while. So since I have lessons that are very similar to each other, it's simple for me to upload it because I can create what's called a similar listing. And it'll basically copy all the words and description from the previous listing to the new one. So all I have to do is change a little bit of the verbiage. To do that, I'm going to go to the quick edit of the previous one that I uploaded that was very similar. And I'm going to create a similar listing. Once I click on create a similar listing, Teachers Pay Teachers is going to basically copy that previous product and bring in all of the wording, so I don't have to do much to change it. In fact, I made it really simple for myself because I highlighted the areas that I need to change from lesson to lesson. Everything else will pretty much stay the same. I'll show you that. So first we're going to go ahead and click on the product file and upload that. I'm going to click on the preview file and make sure that you're selecting these PDFs and not the PowerPoints. I'm going to upload my own thumbnails because we already have them done. And I always recommend that you create your own thumbnails and don't let TPT choose them for you. And now when I go down to the wording, all I have to do is change a couple little things because all the rest of it applies to all the lessons for Engage New York. So I know that this is for lesson 21, and I know that it's part of the module 3 bundle. Everything else stays exactly the same. I will go in and change the amount of pages because I want the buyer to know exactly how many pages are in this lesson versus the previous lessons. And then you can click on Create Product. And we're all done. Now your file is uploaded to TPT and ready for other teachers to start purchasing from you. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. In my next TPT video, I'm going to show you how to write product descriptions that actually convert to sales. If you're interested in seeing exactly how I set up my goals for my TPT store or how much I made in the first 6 months, go ahead and check out the other videos linked below. Until next time, be kind to one another, and I'll see you in my other videos.